What's up, YouTube? Randy Orton, Fan 2011. I'm here to give you some extra info about my newest Elite Series, the NASCAR Reebok Cup Series. For this series, I want to do things a lot more differently than I have been in the NASCAR Pepsi Cup Series and the NASCAR GameStop Cup Series. It's not going to be your usual racing season where you get points and then at the end of the season, whoever's first in the standings wins the championship. It's not going to go like that way. I'm going to make this one a little more closer to what you would see in sports. Like you face off against some other drivers in this one, and then basically you earn points, and then you get a playoffs. But I'm going to do it a little differently for this series. So stay tuned, continue watching the rest of this video as I have vital information for this series, okay? Here's the first thing that I'm going to do for this series. Instead of all 30 drivers basically competing against each other, the 30 drivers in each series will be split into two conferences of 15 drivers each, and then split into another two divisions of either 7 or 8 drivers in those divisions. So there will be a total of 4 divisions, two in each conference. One of the divisions in each conference will have 8 drivers, while the other division in both conferences will have 7. The next slide, the next part of the video that you're going to see is one of the divisions of the league alignment. So it will go this way throughout the regular season. So I want you guys to stay tuned and pay attention, because you're going to have to figure out where your driver is and who he or she will most likely be competing against when it comes to the playoffs. So stay tuned. Let's start off in the Eastern Conference, shall we? Let's start off in the Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference. Now, for all the drivers that I registered, I did change 2 of them. I changed both Jessica Miller and Jennifer Miller to Alexander Jones and Christopher Martin, my girlfriend and BFF respectively, because both Jessica and Jennifer Miller weren't that elite yet. They haven't got as much experience, so I've replaced them with 2 elite drivers. So first we'll get to the Atlantic Division. The Atlantic Division has 8 drivers, and they are represented by the 1 of John Acosta, representing the Florida Panthers, the 4 of Randy Carpenter, representing the Washington Capitals, the 04 of Sam Young, representing the Tampa Bay Lightning, the 06 of Red Bell, representing the Carolina Hurricanes, the 34 of Ryan Acosta, representing the New York Rangers, the 74 of Luke Walker, representing the Philadelphia Flyers, the 80 of Seth Cole, representing the New York Islanders, and the 95 of Christopher Martin, representing the New Jersey Devils. Now we head over to the East Division. This one has 7 drivers. This division has 7 drivers, and they are represented by the 9 of Al Tanker, representing the now defunct Atlanta Thrashers, the 16 of Jack Richards, representing the Montreal Canadiens, the 18 of Dion Scott, representing the Toronto Maple Leafs, the 28 of Alexander Dawson, representing the Boston Bruins, the 70 of Pichu, representing the Buffalo Sabres, the 88 of Alex Tanker, representing the Ottawa Senators, and the 91 of Hiroshi Kato, representing the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that is your 15 drivers. Those are your 15 drivers who will represent the Eastern Conference. And of course, this will be a factor in what will go on under the season. So stay tuned for that. And now I'll give you the other 15 drivers right now. Alright, we're done in the East. Now let's move to the West. The first division we'll check out in the Western Conference is the Central Division. The Central Division has 7 drivers, and they are represented by the 0 of Austin Plant, representing the Minnesota Wild, the 7 of Joseph Clark, representing the St. Louis Blues, the 8 of Dylan Poteet, representing the Nashville Predators, the 20 of Charles Jackson, representing the Columbus Blue Jackets, the 38 of Dylan Young, representing the Chicago Blackhawks, the 43 of Wolfgang Vell, representing the Detroit Red Wings, and the 99 of Trent Dunham, representing the Dallas Stars. Finally, we go to the Pacific Division, which has 8 drivers. They're represented by the 2 of Matthew McMurray, representing the San Jose Sharks, the 5 Alexander Jones, representing the Vancouver Canucks, the 6 of Ryan Cooper, representing the Phoenix Coyotes, the 07 of Jake Cole, representing the Anaheim Ducks, the 67 of yours truly, Aaron Williams, representing my favorite team in the NHL, well, the so-called best team in the NHL, the Los Angeles Kings, the 84 of Sam Odoskin, representing the Edmonton Oilers, the 89 of Barney Ward, representing the Calgary Flames, and the 96 of Justin Perry, representing the Colorado Avalanche. Those are your 30 drivers, and they will be competing for the championship in this Elite Series. And I'll tell you more about the season structure and how the Elite Series goes later in the video, so stay tuned. Okay, here's an overview on how the season structure will be like. For this series, I'm going to do it Grand Prix style. So In the schedule there are 36 races total, and I've split all 36 races into 6 cups. They're split into 6 cups with 6 races in each cup. So points will be accumulated throughout the regular season in each race, and drivers are guaranteed at least 1 point in each race. So even if you finish dead last, you still end up getting at least 1 point. And after 4 cups or 24 races, the top 4 drivers in each division will advance to the playoffs. And I'll tell you more about the playoffs later on. Kind of think of this series more like a similar Grand Prix structure in like Mario Kart or maybe even F-Zero. And also, I've also made up a point system, very unique for this series. So stay tuned for that. I got that right coming up. So here's an overview on how the point system will go. This point system will also be in the playoffs, but I will talk to you more about the playoffs later on this video. So the race winner will get the most points, which is 100. The runner-up will get 93 points. The third place finisher will receive 87 points. Fourth place will get 81 points. Fifth place 75 points. Sixth place 70 points. Seventh place 65 points. Eighth place 60 points. Ninth place 55 points, and 10th place 50 points. The reason I'm saying for this is that you probably should think about finishing near the top 10, because as you can see, the margin between first and 10th, that is already half that margin. 10th place is already half of what the winner would get. So anything below that pretty much means it's much lower and it's not really that good. So you probably want to finish at least in the top 10, maybe even in the top 5 if you really want to get a good jump on this series. The reason I'm saying to finish at least in the top 10, look how low the points are here. 11th through 20th, that is much lower than what you would see through 1st through 10th. So 11th place will get 46 points, 12th place 42 points, 13th 38, 14th 34, 15th 30, 16th 27, 17th 24, 18th 21, 19th 18, and 20th place will get 16 points. And they get dangerously low towards the bottom 10. If you finish in the bottom 10, well, good luck trying to rebound from that. Because the points here are obviously, the points are pretty much staggered. And pretty much you'll need to finish in at least the top 10 or even the top 5 if you really want to get a good season here. So your bottom 10's coming up, so stay tuned. Check it out. This is the bottom 10. Look how low those points are. 21st place will get 14 points, 22nd 12 points, 23rd 10 points, 24th 8 points, 25th 6 points, and then the bottom 5 get 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 point respectively. So really, you don't want to finish near the back. You pretty much want to finish at least in the top half, definitely the top 10, or maybe even the top 5. Again, I'm saying this because the points in the top 10 are much bigger than the points you'll receive in between 11th through 20th, and especially the bottom 10, because those points get dangerously low quickly. So pretty much this is the whole point structure, the point system that I'll be using for this series. I want to finish up this video quickly, so I'll tell you more about the playoffs in a later video. So finally, I will also give out bonus points. I will give out bonus points, not for leading a lap, but for finishing well in each cup. So if you end up with this XXX amount of points and you win the cup, you will get 30 points. Finish second in the cup, you get 20 points. Finish third in the cup, you get 10 points. Also, I'm also giving out bonus points for those who finish best in their division and the conference. So you finish best in your division, you get 5 points. You finish best in your own conference, you get another 10 points. So basically, if you win the cup, you pretty much got yourself 45 bonus points right there. 45 right there. Of course, the second best can receive as much as 35 points. That's depending on if he or she is in the opposing conference. And these points will be separated from. Remember that these bonus points will be separated from the points accumulated from the races, and they will be added to the final points total at the end of the regular season. So that is pretty much how it will go. Remember, the bonus points do not count towards the points that are accumulated in races. It is at the end of the regular season when they will be added to the total. And of course, like I said, the top 4 in each division after 24 races, which is 4 cups, that's the regular season. top 4 in each division, they'll move on to the playoffs. And once I get closer to the playoffs, I'll tell you more about that. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. And of course, good luck to all the drivers, all 30 drivers in the NASCAR Reebok Cup Series, the Elite Series, of course. And remember guys, I got much more. I'll probably give you if you guys got any questions, just ask me and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you as long as they are appropriate. Alright guys, peace.